Okay, we're being joined by Pauly Fenech. We're on the set of his new TV show based in the western suburbs of Sydney. So, Pauly, what can you tell us about the new show?
This show is called Houses of the Housing Commission. That's not with a "the" in the middle. It's a DA, so Houses of the Housing Commission. And it's a comedy about the stooges who live in the housing commissions all over Australia. It's a representative. This show, actually, it's the first representation of the bogans, the unseen, unheard bogans of Australia, and the other, like, non-Anglo bogans that reside with them.
It's the lovely people of Sunnyvale.
This is basically the real version of Neighbours. Like, you see Neighbours on TV, that's bullshit. You know, like, this is the real version we're doing.
Fantastic. And your role in the show?
I play Frankie Falzoni. I'm kind of like, I don't know, a bit of a... You know, he likes to takes things... They're not his, but eventually they might be returned to the owner. We don't know. He's an ex-tattooist. You know, likes motorbikes, likes fast cars, can't afford anything. He's probably about 35. He needs a girlfriend who's like 19, who looks 15. Well, she says she's 19. I mean, you know, in the show, we assume she is, so I don't know. We'd have to check her ID. So he's a dodgy character, let's just say.
And he drives a pretty dodgy car too. I'm looking at one here that was like a 1990s hatchback at one stage, and now it's a rolling piece of art.
Well, yes, he grafted himself. Like he didn't like the colour because it was just like a daggy colour. So he's done his own. He's done some tagging. He thought it was a train basically when he was pissed, and he's tagged it fully, and he's put a giant scoop on it too, just to make it look like it goes faster. I mean, that's a massive scoop, man. How would you describe that scoop?
That looks like it belonged off a drag car with, displacing about 22 litres of engine capacity on, and it's been bolted to something that looks like it started a life with a 1.6 or a 1.8.
But mate, I tell you, with that scoop on, it goes. You wouldn't believe how quick it goes now.
But he's not one of these people that thinks red ones go faster. He hasn't put a lot of red on it.
Well, this is true, but that's a myth. I mean, scoops make them go faster, not red.
Not red.
It's a popular misconception, my friend.
Fair enough. Okay, and he's also into the motorbike. So tell me a little bit about how that all works.
Yeah, no. Well, in the series, there's different bikes, but there's a gang in a motorcycle club called the Hunters with a Z. Angry Anderson is the leader of this gang, and they kind of just they're a typical dodgy gang. There's one episode where they send the main female character Shazza to Thailand because the first expedition with Chappelle didn't go that good. So this is the sequel to the Chappelle incident, and they're just hoping the boogie board gets through this time. So that's how dodgy they are.
Dodgy. Okay. And so what sort of bikes are they riding? And you jump on a bike too?
Yes, we're riding the Hunter Spider, which is so it's just like a chopper. It's a really sick bike that I found through a mate on the internet, and loved them so much I've put them in the show. So they've just got such a cool look. They're sexy, there's a lot of, you get a lot of these kind of, hardcore Harley riders. They don't like anything but Harleys, Triumphs, this, that. But man, I'm telling you, these things, they look so sexy, and they're so they're such a good price. I challenge any other bike in the price range to be as good.
Yeah, they certainly are a very good price, and the ones you've got, I've seen them on the set here, and they look great. So I think
you get chicks with these things. I mean, look, chicks don't know the difference between a Triumph, a Harley, and a Hunter Spider. Let's face it, they just see a bike, they go, "Oh, that looks cool." So like, this, my advice to your riders out there is, look, why spend all that cash on the top range? Go mid-range and get the top-range chicks.
Absolutely.
Top-range money, you'll have no money to take the chicks out, but now you're saving money for the chicks to take them out. So it's just economically, if the governments use this approach to their budgets, we'd be in surplus.
You probably got a point there. Now, a little while ago, when I first arrived, you were shooting a scene. You were sitting inside the car,
yes,
in your underwear.
Yes.
With a woman who was very pregnant.
Shazza.
And just tell me a little bit about what was going on.
Well, in the scene, what's happened is, I was getting really pissed playing some strip poker with the two sisters I mentioned who are from Tasmania, who I had a threesome with earlier in the episode. And Dazza, who's my best friend on the show, his wife, Shazza, is pregnant, so he needs to get to the hospital, and he needs a lift. And initially, I said, I'm pissed, I can't drive. Well, my girlfriend said that I actually wanted to drive. But then, so he goes to visit our Kiwi mate, but he was stabbed. So he's come back because I'm the only form of transportation, because the ambulance won't come to our area. It's that dodgy. It's banned.
No ambulances in Sunnyvale.
So, after probably about, a giant bottle of JD and a vodka, I'm driving them to the hospital. So that's why I was in my undies. I was playing strip poker, and I've gone straight from the game to drive them to the hospital, you see. And later in the episode, I run over a whole RBT. on the way to the hospital.
No.
So, you know.
One catastrophe after another.
But these are true stories in the Housing Commission, mate. Like that's actually like a PG version of the real stuff.
So this is a doco.
The amount of true stories in this show is unbelievable, but I'm not going to say which names have been changed to protect the innocent and the guilty.
Okay.
I'm just choking on the bourbon that I'm drinking now, because we allow all sorts of crazy shit to happen on set here because we want to get in character. Like, you know, Marlon Brando, these other actors, they get right into it, and we do too.
Well, didn't Marlon have to kill 3 people before he could act every day?
It's
something like that.
Similar things. So, you know, I guess you can still put all these fake tats on. You know, I actually have no tats, but now I look so hard. And I leave these on the weekend and just go and start fights with people, just for fun.
Just for fun?
To get into character, because I'm that sick an actor.
And you just love Western Sydney so much?
That's it. You know, I'm representing hard. You know?
Yeah. And, of course, Sunnyvale could be anywhere, though. It could be in any of the major capital cities.
Well, look, Sunnyvale is Elizabeth in South Australia. It's Logan in Queensland.
That's right. We just have another passing pedestrian that we have to get out of the way for, because we have such an expensive set here with all the millions of people.
We're sitting on an overpass fence thing, so, and now everyone's spinning out because Angry Anderson is here.
The talent's really arrived.
Yeah, that's him over. That's it.
And what's it like working with Angry?
No, he's good. I've worked with him for years and years, and he's always been a legend. He's a very funny guy. Always has great ad libs, and it's good to be taller than somebody when we're filming, because I'm only 5'4". So to be taller than one of the actors is a great bonus. And you know, my girlfriend on the show is only about 5'1". She's actually shorter than Angry. So I'm feeling very tall in this series. I'm feeling big for a change.
And how are you finding doing so many roles? You're directing, you're producing, you're obviously you're acting, and you wrote it.
Well, you know, I'm just that clever, mate. You know, like, I mean, other stooges, they struggle, but obviously, you know, I'm the Jim Beam Black of the of the directing and producing world in Australia, and I actually have a Guinness World Record for the world's longest pizza delivery. But that's a whole other story. So, you know, I'm just multi-talented, mate. You know, maybe it's because I'm Maltese. I don't know.
Fair enough. And so, how long's the production schedule, and when should we expect to see this on TV?
Well, it takes like a long time to do the filming and the editing and everything, but it'll be on the air middle of next year, depending on the stooges at SBS. And basically the way they work over there's about 17 ethnic guys, and they have a fight in a room, and that's how the decisions are made. So depending on which one wins will depend the actual date, because they all have a date card and kind of on their shirt, and it just all depends on and it's very UFC based these days. It's very Ultimate Fighting rules. So there's a lot of, you know, arm bars, and who knows how long that fight could take, but there will be a decision eventually.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, thanks for your time. We'll look forward to seeing the show, and I'm sure you'll get a great fan base from it. Fat Pizza was obviously very, very successful, and I'm sure this will be even better.
Yeah, no, this is I think this is. I remember you.
There you go.
It was just found one of the random people in Fairfield has been on our show, because we cast the real people, you see. But you know, I think Houses of the Housing Commission is definitely. I think if you love Fat Pizza, this is the next step. This is like the year 2000s version of pizza. It's funnier. We got Shazza Dazza, Angry Anderson, me, bikes, this, that, bogans, chicks, threesomes. What else do you want on a TV show, mate? Is there anything else we could put in? No.
Well, is the strip poker on the show?
There's some old ladies too, yes.
Yeah, we need some old ladies. Is the strip poker actually in the show?